In today's video, I'm going to be talking about rewriting the script of your life, specifically your love life. When you rewrite the script, you can do anything, you can experience anything. And what happens is when we are holding on to subconscious thoughts, beliefs, concepts, limiting beliefs, basically, we are holding ourselves back to experience whatever it is that we desire. If you don't know me, my name's Deborah. I'm an intuitive reader, energy healer, and quantum coach. And I want to talk about how we rewrite the script. So, if you have had maybe similar relationships, maybe things haven't worked out in your romance department, maybe you choose someone who, or the last one maybe was unavailable emotionally, possibly you've had a separation, a divorce, whatever it is. Believe it or not, it has everything and nothing to do with you. How does it have everything to do with you? Everything that we are holding in mind is what we are experiencing. So, what we are thinking and feeling, especially subconscious, is running the show of our life. So, when I work with my private clients and in groups, I help you to tune in and to see specifically what it is that you're thinking, what limiting belief about yourself, about relationships, about the world, about anything. And this can go for anything. You can release and rewrite the script for anything in your life that you want to experience. But what is it that you are holding on to that is designing the experiencing of your love life? So in my case, I was holding on to men don't choose me. Why? Because I could trace it back to feeling that sense of not being important, not emotionally being interested in me from my father. And so I would choose men who didn't choose me, right? So once you can identify that particular limiting belief about yourself, which is usually tucked really far into the subconscious mind, then that's half the battle. Then you can release it and your energy field shifts and your magnetism shifts and you're much more open to receive the love that you deserve. We all deserve it. It's just that we put up these walls, we put up these limiting beliefs, basically. So it's really important to look at these things. For me, I have been sitting with my teacher who's taught me how to release for 10 years. And I have to say that it's the only thing that has really changed my life drastically. And I put it into practice every day. It's not a one and done. It's like learning how to brush your teeth. So when I'm feeling frustrated, when I'm feeling stuck, I write my intention. So this is how you do it. You write your intention. Let's say you want to, if you're in separation from someone, maybe you still want it to work out. So you say, I allow for, as an example, Joe and I to get back together easily. And the word easily is going to be a trigger word because it will invite all of the negative no's, the resistance to wanting to having that because we want it but we think we can't have it, so we practice being separate from it. So you're releasing the resistance, you're releasing the separation. And I've experienced it in my life and experimented in my relationship where I was able to bring the two of us back together. Now, it's not a manipulation technique, it's not a spell, it's just releasing any and all projections onto that person that was unloving, releasing any thoughts about myself that were unloving. And I'm telling you, when it came about, it was miraculous because the only thing between you and anything that you desire are your thoughts. That's it. So if you are in separation from someone, release. And I always tell my privates that this is going to be a tall order because you're going to have to let go of the past, everything that's happened. If you really love this person and you really believe that it's worth it to experiment and release, it can absolutely happen. So, but you have to let go of the past and rewrite the script that is you're going to show up differently and they're going to show up differently. A lot of people get stuck there. They say, well, that person, they're who they are. They're not going to change. No, they will show up differently because we can, whatever we're projecting is exactly what we're experiencing. So if in my case, I was releasing and I saw where I had pushed away this person that I loved so much. And I couldn't believe it. Once I saw it and I was writing it down, that person, that my ex, reached out to me in that moment. I couldn't believe it. It's instant, guys. It doesn't have to take time. So, the way you rewrite the script of your love life is you set your intention. You write it on the top of the piece of paper of a journal. I allow for Joe and I to be back together, as an example. And imagine that you're sitting in a white room with a white screen, and everything that you're thinking and projecting is exactly your movie that you want. So, everything that is happening out there is a result of all of your thinking. So there's no out there that's making you a victim. You are just, what is it that you want? Put your order in and think like a child. Children, they say, I want the ice cream. They don't say, oh my God, I can't have that because it's going to make me fat. No, they just want it and they want it now. So have that openness like a child. I allow myself to have Joe and I be back together again easily, and it will happen. So write the intention. I allow myself to have Joe and I back together easily. Put the 3 words on the side: control, approval, security. And after you write those 3 words, I want you to write down all the reasons why you don't think it's possible for you to be together. Because that's what's running the show. All of the negative no's, because the mind is like, no, it's too late. He doesn't love me anymore. Blah, blah. All of those limitations. It's easier said than done. It's simple, but it's easier said than done to really let go of, of those thoughts, because that is in your field that is creating the distance, creating the separation. We are all one with everyone. So just try it as an experiment. Why not? You have nothing to lose. If you're not together with that person and you still love them and you still want it to work, because it takes two to tango as well. But you're responsible for your side. So what is it that you want? And I did it myself, and when I couldn't believe how my boyfriend showed up. It was so different. It was so different. And so it's very possible. But the reason why, and you know what? There's so many people on the internet that practice separation by talking about narcissism, avoidance, all that stuff. Now, I'm not discounting that. It's helpful to see, oh, wow, I'm in a dynamic with someone who's an avoidant or has avoidant tendencies, because I don't like to put somebody in a box. Oh, they're just this way for sure. No, because that's what you're releasing. You're releasing those projections onto that person. There's so many people that ask me, well, in an intuitive reading, will Joe and I get back together? And I'm like, well, how do you feel about them? Well, he's a narcissist and he's an avoidant. It's not going to work if you're going to hold on to that. Now, in some cases, the person is very toxic and abusive, and you do not want to be with them. So that's a whole nother topic. But in my case, I pushed this person away, this love of my life, right? I pushed them away because I had tendencies running the show. So nothing is ever set in stone. This creation in the 3D is nothing, everything is always changing. What's not changing is our true self, is consciousness. And that's where we're going with releasing. So we're releasing for something we want, but deep down, there's way more to discover as you release for anything that you want, because you realize, oh, you're just coming back to yourself. You're just getting back to consciousness when you're releasing. So it's like consciousness, the universe is dangling the carrot going, you want the relationship, release, and then it'll happen. But there's more. But use it as an experiment. And because the mind is all about no, the soul is all about yes, I can, because we are the universe. We are, everything around you is yours. Everything, we're all one, we're all connected. And it's an illusion to think that we are separate. And the minute we start practicing separation, everything goes awry. So notice that when you're releasing, that those thoughts are either you're wanting control, approval, which is love, or security. So what happens when you are releasing? Let's say you are in love with someone and they're not reciprocating, and you finally just let go. You're like, I'm not going to do this anymore. What happens? They come towards you. So whenever you're releasing for something that you want, but the trick is to be neutral. Is the minute you let go, it drops into your lap. That's the way the universe works. It's always been like that in my life. I may have wanted something so bad and I visualize it, I see it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen. So I just release, I let go, and then boom, it drops into my lap. So try your best to be neutral, whether it happens or it doesn't, but just make it your mission to release anything and everything that's in the way for you and Joe to be together. Now, if it's a partner, you want to call in a partner, it may feel impossible. A lot of people, younger and older, they'll say, I really want a partner. And then they go, have you seen the dating pool out there? And it's like, that's a limitation. Those thoughts run the show. We put up these barriers all the time. We practice separation. There's plenty of people out there that are single all over the place. So it just takes one. So allow yourself, whenever you say your intention, you always say, I allow, because you are coming from your soul. I allow for this to be so. And it will invite everything that is in negation of that. Oh, well, I'm too old. Oh, I'm too fat. Oh, he doesn't love me anymore. He'll never forgive me for what I said. All that stuff. That's in the past. It doesn't even exist anymore. But we hold on to it in our mind. Oh my God, it's always going to be this way. No. And when I do tarot readings, I always tell people, you know what? You just don't know. Everything can change on a dime. And it's just what I'm seeing right now and what possibilities are out there. But it's all up to you because you're projecting your movie. So project your movie into something that you really want and think only of what you want. Lester Levinson, which was my teacher's teacher, said, if you only think of what you want all the time, that's all you will ever get. So why are we thinking of what we don't want? A lot of people say, well, I don't want this. Well, the universe hears want this. So release that. Think of only what you want. And when you do, you feel energized, you feel excited, you feel enthusiastic because that's your true nature. You're just like, oh my God, it's possible. And then what happens? And this just happened to me recently. I have a goal, I see it as done. And then the doubts came in, right? And because I don't see the results in the 3D right away. And that's what happens. And that's where things go down south. So you want to let go of that. See your vision, see yourself, feel what it's like to be in a partnership with that particular person or with anyone, and see what happens. So this is the video for today. Also, don't forget, I have the healing night coming up June 1st, Zoom, and the link will be in the description for you to sign up if you'd like. And you can also book a private session with me anytime and do some release work, because it's very helpful when you have someone who's done it for a long time and coaching you on letting go and helping you to see those subconscious beliefs that are lurking in the back. So thank you so much, and till next time.